Okay, YouTubers, sorry it's been a long time since posting anything new. Hopefully today's video will interest some of you. Might have heard me talk about what's under this cover in one of my previous videos, and today, for all the car lovers, we're going to get this going. I've had to go out and purchase a new battery. This one here, it's 800 CCA. You can see that there. 800. Quite expensive, $380. That one cost me. I know there are cheaper batteries of that same rating, but as any Corvette owner would know, there are space restrictions. And so that needs to be quite a compact sort of size, and this Optima is the only one that sort of fits the bill. So it's on trickle charge now. It's because I've had it for a couple of weeks just sitting around, so I thought I'll just chuck it on the trickle charger for a day like today. Alright, I shall put this down and get to work. So hopefully next time when I come back to you in basically a split second for you, everything will be cleared off. Talk to you soon. Okay, so here we are. Everything is cleared away. Time for the reveal. So there it is. Okay, just do a quick walk around. Hope you can see it all right. I started to pull this apart so I could fix the windscreen wipers and the vacuum, which I soon discovered was a bigger job than just putting a few bushings in and cleaning it up a little. So the magic numbers. Alright, I'll get around to pulling this car out. I'll put some air in the tyres first, just to make it a bit easy to pull out of here, and come back to you then. So this is a 1969, obviously Corvette Stingray, but the variant is the L68 model. So it comes with the 427 tri-power. So you've got the triple carbs. I hope you can see that. I might come around from the other side yet. Triple carbs, 400 horsepower, 460 foot-pounds of torque. There we go. It's fairly original. And matching numbers as far as I found so far. It did have air conditioning, but I've taken that unit off so I can get to the spark plug down there and here to check it. Air conditioning, power steering, but no power brakes, which is kind of a shame, but anyway, nothing that can't be fixed. Okay, so I'll show you the interior. I've taken the sill plates off just for now. But yeah, the doors are in pretty good nick, pretty good condition. Obviously manual windows. Seats, I've replaced the seat belts to Australian compliant ones. The original ones I still have. I'm going to keep all the parts of these, but the original ones were dated February 14, 1969, so Valentine's Day. And I started to look into seeing what the condition of this was, especially in relation to the bird cage. This is the condition of the footwell. So I think that's pretty good. And generally this is one of the worst places to sort of be looking in. So that's pretty good. I can't complain about that. So the plan is to do a frame-off restoration. And the reason I'm getting this car out now is because we're moving it to our shed, which isn't here, and we need the space in our own garage. So just open up this driver's side. Okay, good job. Okay, just a quick look at the dash. You can see that, 65,000 miles. Okay, and the clock does work. There's no battery in this just yet, so obviously I haven't put it in. But manual, you can see that there, 400 horsepower, 427 cubic inches, 460 foot-pounds and 10 1/4 to 1 compression. Okay, so put that back there, and this is the other side. This is the other bottom of the, you see, the footwell, the bottom of the bird cage. There we go. It's not bad, it's pretty good. And everything else up here doesn't seem to be in too bad a nick either. I'll just peel back there. Fuse box is relatively clean. It's not bad for a 52-year-old car. I'd like to see many modern day cars, see what the condition they're in after 50 odd years. So there it is, paint code 986, that's for Cortez Silver. So somewhere along in this car's history it's been changed to obviously black. But I don't mind it, it's going to keep it as is for now. The paint job's pretty good, it's a bit obviously dusty. And then under here, let's have a look. It's not too bad. There is some issues with it. But for today's exercise, it's just to get it running so I can get it moved up onto a truck to take to our new location. But interestingly, I was looking at when I was putting the air in the tyres, I was looking at the date, 2009 for this one. I think that's right. 2009. Yeah. This one here. You can see that. Isn't it? Yeah, 2000. That's the wrong one. 2009. I think that's what those numbers mean. So they're pretty old, but they're basically new, but old nonetheless. And now for the battery compartment. As I was mentioning earlier, it's very tight. Yeah, it's very tight, even for people. So there it is. It's the battery compartment. It looks kind of spacious, but once you get a battery in there, trust me, it ain't. So, what should I say? Isn't. So, let's get this thing hooked up. I'll come back when it's done. Okay, so just give you a quick look. Battery is in. There's your triple carbs. Last time I started this up, it started leaking out of here. And yes, I know I've got plumber's tape on there, but it should be not getting in contact with fuel itself. So I don't know if I need new fittings because they're a bit worn or what. But these other two back here, they're all sealed fine. Or this one here, even on this T-junction, it's all good. It's just this end that was leaking. So I've disconnected the coil. I'm just going to turn the engine over to get the fuel pumped up, and then I'm going to drop some fuel down here to see if she starts. Okay. Okay, so here it is. The beast is alive. Just looking for leaks. It was leaking out of this main inlet here before. I mean, I'm talking, it's been a couple of years, at least 3-4 years actually, since this was last running. So it's going, running quite nicely, considering. Mind you, when I first got this car back in 2015, when I imported it from the States, all three carburetors were leaking like a proverbial sieve, and quite a few strip and rebuilds, new gaskets, cutting my own gaskets. None of that seemed to work, so I took it to a friend of mine from way back. He worked with a Toyota racing team quite successfully back in the day, and he had his own workshop at his house, and I took the carburetors around there because I was getting so frustrated that I was thinking about either getting new carburetors, which is quite expensive, as anybody who's looked into this would know, or setting the manifold and the carburetors aside, because these are original items, and putting fuel injection on, just go that way instead. But it wouldn't be it's the heart and soul of this engine, so I persevered with it, and I took the carburetors to him, and he found that the main bodies of each tray were bent, they were curved, so the gaskets could never actually get a proper seal. So he tried to very gently persuade them back into flatness, but that proved to be a no-go. So then it was down to wet stone them all, and put them back together. That solved those leaks. But I found that the accelerator pump was leaking like a sieve too. So, armed with some new piece of knowledge, I put a straight edge across the body of the accelerator pump, and lo and behold, it's curved like a banana. So I went out and got myself a decent whetstone and carefully flattened that out again, new gasket, and here we are today. Saved 3,000 odd Australian dollars. So I'm pretty happy about that. So I'm glad we can keep the original items and not have to replace them and put these ones on the shelf somewhere, which is a bit of a shame. So the idea is to keep this car as original as possible. I will do upgrades, like, you know, vented discs and all that sort of stuff. Maybe, you know, convert to power brakes. But everything else, aside from the paint job, of course, I'm going to keep pretty original. I'm not going to do the engine over or anything like that. It's just going to get a strip and rebuild with factory spec components, But with 65,000 miles on the clock, I think they're pretty good condition still anyway. I mean, geez, this thing's hardly run in. And do something about the manifolds here. I may put some headers on. I'm going to teach myself to TIG weld. So who knows, don't laugh. I might actually make a half-reasoned decent job of it, or if that's proving too difficult and beyond my skills, I'll just get these blasted and brought back up. As you can see, those nuts are really welded in there, or rusted in, I should say. I think these smaller ones here were for the air pump. And I don't know if this particular model came with the air pump, or this particular car came with the air pump for the smog, run the smog pump, or I don't know how that will work. But anyway, I'll find out eventually. It's all a learning curve. And yeah, so no leaks. That's awesome. I might even take it for a burn around the block just for shits and giggles. I'll put the air cleaner back on first though. Let's drive. Is amazing, and I don't just mean my voice. Oh yeah. Check ourselves for leaks. is better than I hoped, actually. Awesome! Idling nicely now, it's warmed up. Just check underneath again. Let's do that again. And brake off. Reverse. Okay, let's go. I'll just give you a bit of the indicators here. Fuel, temperature, the ammeter, oil pressure is fantastic, and the clock is still going. And we're idling at that much. Car's running, I can organise tow truck to take it to its new location, because we are moving house and we need the space in the garage to start moving things into the departure lounge, as we're calling it. And this is one thing that needs to go. Oh, that'll do, I think we're there. Handbrake on. Neutral. And say goodnight. Awesome! And really that's it for this video. The next video is probably, I don't know when it's going to be, to be honest, I won't lie. Probably when we're unloading it from the truck into its new home, where I need to park it up, and eventually I'm going to get a hoist installed so that we can start spending a bit more quality time with this car and giving it the TLC it needs so I can take it safely out on the roads. We'll get it registered first, and then yeah, enjoy it for what it is. It's not going to be a trailer queen. I'm actually going to drive it, so I'm not going to go absolutely berserk on getting everything better than factory or anything like that. I just want it to be pulled apart, cleaned up, parts replaced if needs be, or restored, put back together and enjoyed, basically. So I figured that's a good way to go. I did have a previous car, an Australian car, 1982 XE ESP 5.8 litre, and to be honest, that was a great car, fantastic car. But the stories of people tearing parts off, because they don't make these cars anymore, not for a long time, obviously 1982, and we don't have any Ford manufacturing in this country anymore, which is a shame. And basically no aftermarket parts for the ESP models, at least. So yeah, I didn't really drive it much. I think I did about 20,000 Ks in 9 years of having it. So it was time for it to go, because yeah. But what drew me to the Corvettes was the aftermarket parts list is phenomenal, to say the least. So I think, yeah, and this is an iconic car, instantly recognizable. And I went for the big block because, let's face it, they're just awesome. Bulk amounts of torque with cubic inches. You can't beat cubic inches, as they used to say in the day. So it's raw, no mod cons, no ABS, no traction control, no cruise control, none of that stuff. It's just basically man and machine, and that's the way I like it. So yeah, like I said, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to subscribe. I can't promise videos every week or what have you, so it's not that kind of a channel. But I will be doing other videos, like my motorcycles, for instance. It's time for a sprocket change. I think after 43,000 kilometers, it's due for a new set of sprockets. So and I'll be changing that out from a 14:42 arrangement to a 15:42 arrangement, which would take the final drive ratio down from 3.0 to 1 just down to 2.8 to 1, purely because I do spend a lot of time out on the highway. So it would be nice to get those revs down a little bit and give my ears a rest. And yeah, when I get to doing that, I'll be sure to bring it to you. Okay, thanks now. Cheers, bye.